Hey, it's Rhonda, your Spirit Soul Body Coach. And so today we're starting a series on ego. And I think it's important because most times we think about ego as all negative. Even I did. And so as I educate myself on the true meaning of the word and really try to continue on a daily basis to shift my mindset in every area, physical, spiritual, emotional, it's important that when we find something that we're driven to investigate or figure out, why is this not what I thought it was? It's important because that means that that's something that your mind needs to be shifted in. And with Spirit Soul Body Coach, the foundation is shifting your mindset. And so this is something that I feel is very important. And so I want to dive in. I want to start by just talking about some different definitions of ego and how we see it. And then in the second part, we'll probably do a series of 2 or 3 videos. Then we will have more conversations about how to shift your mindset regarding ego, how to make sure your ego is in balance, and some other things. So let's start with a definition that I found that says, an ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. To have an ego is essential to our very makeup, which means we all have one and we all should have one. More importantly, it's really all just about balance. It will define who we are and how we connect with others. Ego becomes an issue when it becomes overpowering. So when it becomes overpowering, that's where we get the words that we talk about, egocentric and words like that. So that is when it becomes overpowering. So an example, ego is defined as the view that a person has of him or herself. So how you see yourself is your ego. That is the foundation, the basic definition, which means we all have one. We all see ourselves in a certain light, whether it's positive or negative, whether we have low self-esteem or high self-esteem. That is the foundation of everyone's ego. An example of ego is the way that you look at yourself. An example of ego is thinking that you are the smartest person on earth. So that will be considered egocentric or overpowering. A way to see this as imbalance is, instead of saying I am the smartest person on earth, a balanced ego would say I am very smart. Makes sense, right? The most central part of the mind, which mediates the one's surroundings, that is your ego. Okay, so regarding if the ego is positive or negative. So the word ego often carries a negative connotation, as in egocentric or egotistical, as I stated. In actuality, the ego has positive and negative aspects. From the positive aspect, ego simply means a solid, healthy, strong sense of self. So what that means is we all have an ego. You just need to, in your journey, figure out, is your ego negative? Is it positive? Is it balanced? Is it unbalanced? Now, I would venture to say that most of us have an unbalanced ego, and that can be egocentric, or it can be unbalanced in the sense of we have a low self-esteem, a low self-value, a low self-love. And whether you're on one spectrum or the other, the idea is to bring it into balance. So let's use the smart example again. Egocentric says, I'm the smartest person in the world. And low ego says, I'm not smart. I'm dumb. I can't do anything right. And then balance says, I make good choices. I make good decisions. I am a smart person. And that is where we want to be. We want to be in balance. So we don't want to have that big ego where we think we're the smartest person in the world. But it is okay to know that you are smart. And that's the balance that we want to find. Now, I want to talk a little bit about ego versus pride. So ego is how you see yourself. And then pride is, it says, feeling one may get after an accomplishment or success of oneself and someone else. I'm going to read that again. Pride is a feeling that one may get after an accomplishment or a success of oneself or someone's self. So pride is how you feel about something that you do. Ego is how you perceive yourself. So those are two different things. Is ego good in a relationship? If it is balanced, yes. If you have a low ego esteem, then it is not good in a relationship, because you're going to always expect that person that you're in a relationship with to be responsible for boosting your ego, for making sure that you feel a certain way, or making sure that they're always telling you a certain thing about yourself. And neither one is good. If you're in a relationship where you're always needing your ego stroked, like you always need someone to tell you how good you are, how great you are, how smart you are, then that part is not good either. We are responsible for our own happiness. And when you understand that and enjoy living that journey of being responsible for your own happiness, then you're going to have a higher self-esteem, a higher self-love ego, and you're not going to be overbearing or egocentric or egotistical. It's going to be all in balance, and that is the goal. You want to shift your mindset to being in balance in every single way in your life: mental, emotional, physical, all of it. So I want you to just take some time and think about this. In the second part, we're going to talk about some ways that you can change your ego. So if you are egotistical or egocentric, what are some things that you can do to bring it into balance? If you have a low ego esteem, a low self-love esteem, what are some things that you can do to bring it into balance? So hope you enjoyed this. Watch it again if it didn't really make sense to you. Sometimes it just takes repeating things over and over to get it in your head. A lot of people have the low self-esteem ego, as well as the egotistical or egocentric ego. And the idea is to have everything in balance. And so hopefully this helps someone. If you're interested in talking more, reach out to me at Rhonda Holt Coach on Instagram, Rhonda Holt 1 on Facebook. I am a life coach. I practice here in Indianapolis from Pink Monkey Aesthetics and Wellness. You can just reach out to me on social media, or you can send me an email at onewellness2020@gmail.com. Feel free to call the office at 317-985-1649. Please share this video. It is so important. Please subscribe. The next one will be coming out within the next few days. We're going to do like 2 or 3 parts, because I really want to dig deep on this. I'm going to talk about it also more on Instagram and Facebook. So if those are your social media choices, just listen out for that. Please follow us on those platforms as well. And make sure that your notifications are on so that you can see when we're going live or when we're posting. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll look forward to talking with you, and I'll see you on the next video.